I wanted to have a really, really serious conversation with you guys today about entrepreneurship, right? We have a lot of new people following me, some people who are already in business, and some people who are thinking about starting their own business. But I wanted to have a very serious conversation and sometimes a very uncomfortable conversation, right? But let's really dive into it. And the truth is, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Everybody cannot be an entrepreneur, and everybody should not be an entrepreneur, right? For those of you who are brand new here, I'm Adanna Austin. I'm your business coach and consultant, and I work with high-end entrepreneurs like yourself to get very clear on your goals, identify your ideal clients, and develop these strategies to grow your business. So I talk about entrepreneurship every single day. I live entrepreneurship. I support a lot of people who are in the journey of becoming successful entrepreneurs. Yes. And the truth is, as I said, not everyone needs to or should be an entrepreneur because I don't think a lot of people understand what it takes to become an entrepreneur, right? And I always say, not because you don't like a job or you don't like your boss means that the next reasonable thing is to jump into entrepreneurship. It just does not work that way. And granted, I understand that some people, they are out of work for various reasons. They got laid off, they lost their jobs. So whatever reason, they have challenges and stuff. I understand all of that, right? Because sometimes it's circumstances completely out of your control. Get that understood. It still does not mean that everybody needs to become an entrepreneur, right? It's a really, really fine line, guys, because with entrepreneurship comes a lot of things that you don't foresee. And I don't think that a lot of people tell you because when you look at entrepreneurs online, a lot of times they're showing you the great parts of entrepreneurship, right? They're showing you that they're making money and they have a large following and they have products and services and they're traveling and they're speaking and they're doing all these great things. They show you the really pretty side of entrepreneurship. But a lot of times they don't show you the back end of entrepreneurship, the harder part of entrepreneurship. And when a lot of people start on this journey, when they come up on those harder parts of entrepreneurship, that's when they tend to throw up their hands and say, listen, this is not for me. I didn't know it was going to be this way. A lot of people don't understand that because you have an idea for a business or because you started a Facebook page or Instagram page and you started to put up some pretty pictures of your product or yourself, it does not mean that money is going to come to you automatically. It's no longer build it and they would come. Years ago, before the internet, yes, something like that would have been possible. But nowadays, it's not build it and they would come. Build it, build a relationship with your audience, and then they would come. It usually takes at least 2 to 5 years for people to see real success and progress in their business. And I'm not talking about money because within that 2 to 5 years, you can make money and you should be making money. But to see the real progress where they're breathing easily and comfortable in their business, it takes a while. And that's why we say a lot of times that entrepreneurship is really a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a straight and narrow road. There's a lot of ups and downs that you may experience on this journey of entrepreneurship. And it's something that you have to be very aware of and very prepared for, right? Mentally, financially, emotionally, because a lot of times as well, it can be a lonely journey. And that's why you start to find a lot of networking for entrepreneurs or groups on social media for entrepreneurs and stuff like that, because it can be a lonely journey sometimes. You have to be mentally prepared for this for this happening to you and understand, okay, what do I need to do, how do I position myself to make sure that when these things do happen to me, that I don't just throw my hands in the air and say, that's it, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not for me. So when you're thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, you're thinking of starting your business, right? Of course, you need to have an idea. That's where everything starts for most people. I have this great idea. I want to cook. I want to bake. I want to do hair. I want to bring in clothes to sell. I want to be a coach or a consultant. I want to register people's business and that kind of thing. It usually just starts with an idea, right? We talk about ideation to your business plan to actual execution. And there's a reason that that is a journey, because the idea alone is not enough. The idea is the start of it, right? But having the idea is not enough. When you have the idea, then you need to figure out, is there a market for the idea that I have? Is there a ready market? Right? And we're not talking about those markets that are already saturated, because a lot of you are opening businesses in already saturated markets. You want to say to yourself, this business is already, this niche is already saturated. What can I provide to support the saturated niche? You understand what I'm saying? Instead of doing the exact same thing, what can I provide to support the saturated niche? So, is there a need for that thing that you are going to offer? Are there people clamoring and begging for this thing? Is it very obvious that this is something that people need and people want? Because the idea alone is not enough. You need to make sure that there is a ready audience for this. And if you're not sure, this is where your market research comes in. I always tell you guys, don't skip over the market research aspect of your business. Do your surveys, ask around, go and macro other people's, whether it's their social media, their website, go around and see what is really happening in that industry. Ask questions, right? So you have a very clear idea of what is happening in that industry, the good, the bad, and the ugly, before you jump into it. Because you don't want to invest, spend a lot of money in setting up this business, and then you have nobody buying from you. I've seen that time and time again, right? Do the market research and ensure that there's a ready market for it, that there are enough people who want this thing and who are willing to pay what you want to charge, because we're not undercharging over here, right? Because undercharging does not guarantee that you will get clients, right? Do the market research to make sure that there is a ready audience for it. So your idea, you do your market research. Yes, you have to have passion for it as well, but you have to have knowledge of the industry. A lot of people start businesses without any knowledge of the industry, and that's part of your market research as well. Sometimes you may have to go and do a course or two, and that's fine, because that is preparing you for the journey of entrepreneurship. And that's what you want to do. You want to be as prepared as possible. You would not be completely prepared. That's fine, right? Because it's not about perfection, but you want to be as prepared as you can be in starting your business. So you want to have your idea, your passion, your knowledge. You need to make sure that there's a gap to be filled, that there's a ready market and a ready audience for what you want to put out there. You need to also ensure that you have the mindset to start a business and to sustain a business, because guys, it is not an easy road. I always talk about, and I always preach to you guys about, whether it's your affirmations, your journaling, your meditation, your vision boards, your getting an accountability partner, whatever that looks like for you, because it's not a one size fits all. But you see that mindset, you have to make that a daily habit in your business, because guys, in anybody who's starting a business, they will tell you, you have great months and then you have horrible months, you have great months, great weeks, and then you have horrible weeks, you have great days and then you have horrible days. That is the reality of starting a business, right? You are working towards making sure that you have no horrible days, no horrible weeks, and no horrible months. It's not reality, because even the most seasoned of us in business still have horrible weeks and horrible months, right? But the point is, when those horrible things do happen, things don't work out the way that you want them to work out, people don't buy, people don't show up, you have to be able to still move forward. You have to be able to still pick yourself up every single day and still show up to your clients, right? If you go and you do a market and you got no sales on Saturday, does it mean that you would not go on Sunday? No. Does it mean you won't go next week? No. It means that you have to adjust your approach and continue going. And that mindset, guys, your mindset has to be so strong, not just positive, but it has to be strong. And you have to figure out, how can I be disciplined in order to keep moving even when things get hard for me, because they inevitably will. Something we don't like to talk about, but it will inevitably get hard. At some point in time, it will feel overwhelming sometimes. Not for the rest of your life, but it will feel overwhelming sometimes. And that is okay. You are not alone. You have to decide within you, how am I going to move forward when that time does come? Who am I going to lean on? Where am I going to get the support? What am I going to say to myself? What are the tools am I going to use to make sure that I continue to move forward? Tell me in the comments if it's making sense so far. Does it make complete sense to you? Yes? Are you understanding what I am saying? Understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? Does it make sense to you guys, right? And for those of you who have been in business already, you know that that is also a reality. Yeah, it's not always smooth sailing. Entrepreneurship is about ups and downs. You have the rivers and the valleys and that kind of thing. So you have to really develop that mindset, develop that discipline to make sure that you can move forward. Understand that failure is part of the journey, and not the failure of your business per se, but it might be failure of a launch, of a sale, of a project, of a proposal. We've all experienced it. Anybody who tells you that entrepreneurship is just a bed of roses is lying to you, because that is not true. Some parts of your business may fall flat, some parts may fail. Again, it boils down to your mindset. What am I going to do if somebody says no to my proposal? What am I going to do if I launch and nobody buys from me? What am I going to do if I put out this thing for sale, or am I posting every single day and nobody is buying from me? What am I going to do? I'm going to be flexible. I'm going to adjust my approach, but I'm going to continue moving no matter what. Mindset. Failure is part of it. The ups and downs is part of it. You have to be flexible. You have to be open to criticism, open to feedback, because not every feedback is a negative thing, but you have to be open to feedback, especially if you are serving people, right? You need to get the feedback from your audience in order for you to um, create the best offer for them, because the truth is, we don't know everything. Nobody knows everything, right? Nobody knows everything. And you're not expected to know everything. Even as a business coach, I would never tell my clients that I know everything. No, I don't know everything. I know enough. I know enough to get me to where I am and for me to be at this level of success. But do I know everything? No. And it's okay to receive feedback from your clients so that you can improve your processes, improve your systems, improve your offerings, improve your prices, and be a better version of yourself every single day. That should be a goal in your business, that your business should be improving every single day. So, as an entrepreneur, you have to be open to that and not feel that if somebody tells you something, they're just a hater or they're just trying to see you fail. You have to use your discernment to know, to make sense out of nonsense. Sally, you don't always know who to turn to. You just have to stay strong and keep moving forward, never stopping. It certainly isn't a bed of roses. Yes, because the thorns are there to wake you up. Definitely, Marlene, right? That's part of the journey, guys. We've all been burnt by people we've worked with. Unfortunately, that's part of the journey. However, it is in your best interest to do your research. If you're looking for the best graphic artist or the web designer or coach or accountant or printer or whatever it is that you're looking for, do your research, ask around, look at their testimonials, talk to people who have worked with them before. and you make a decision based on the research that you have done of these people so that you minimize, you might be able to get away, but minimize being taken advantage of and wasting your money. Sometimes it can't be helped, but you do your research so that you know exactly who to trust and who to turn to in times of help, which is why one of the reasons that I started DBS in the first place. Because when I started my business in 2015, there wasn't a place, a specific place for me to go in Trinidad, as specifically to talk to entrepreneurs, right? So I wanted to create that space where I can do that and bring other entrepreneurs along on the journey so that they have the type of support that I didn't have. And I'm really glad to say, in up to 2023, it's still very successful, and we still have a space where we talk entrepreneurship every day. We share tools, we share resources, and we really support each other on the journey of entrepreneurship in dynamic business strategies, right? If you're not there, that's where you need to be, guys. Just in case you're not there. I know I'm streaming live in there as well, right? You need to be flexible. You need to be open. You also need, guys, and this is one of the things we don't talk about as well, have a money mindset. You have to have a really strong relationship with your money, because you remember, as an entrepreneur, you're not getting a monthly salary. You're not getting paid between the 25th and the 30th every month. You might be getting paid every day or every week or every fortnight, right? Depending on what type of business that you're in. I mean, your aim is to get paid every single day, but you may not be getting paid every single day. You may be getting paid every week, every other week, every 2, 3 days. You have to be able to manage that money. And a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that concept of managing their money. Just having a separate business bank account, just creating a budget, just having a plan and a goal for their money. They skip over that part. They skip over that part as much as they skip over the part of doing their market research. You have to have a relationship with your money. You have to write a budget down. You have to be flexible with your budget, because obviously there are unexpected circumstances beyond your control. But once you have that relationship with your money, you have a plan for your money, you have a goal for your money, then it becomes easier for you to grow. It becomes easier for you to attract more money. It becomes easier for you to price. It becomes easier for you to price so that you can make the money that you want, because you know how much money you need to survive every single month. Not so? Tell me in the chat. You know how much money you need to survive every single month. And I don't mean just live paycheck to paycheck, but like really live a comfortable life, whether that's $10,000, $20,000, or $50,000. You have to know what that figure is. And as you build your business, your goal is to work towards that figure. You might not make that figure in the first month or the first 6 months or even the first year, and that's okay. The point is that you're working towards that figure, but you have to know what the figure is. You have to be able to manage your money as an entrepreneur to be successful as well. So that money mindset. And then finally, you really need to be self motivated. Huh? Because as I said before, this journey can feel very, very lonely, which is why we have DBS, so you don't have that feeling of loneliness. It can feel very, very lonely, especially if people in your immediate circle or like your family or your best friends, they are not in business as well. So they may not understand the late nights, or you having to work on a weekend, or you having to forego certain pleasures because you are building your business, right? So it can feel very lonely because you don't have anybody to lean on, or don't have anybody to, bounce ideas off of and that kind of thing. Come over to DBS, right? We we eliminate some of those issues for you in DBS by providing that safe space. But you have to be self motivated. You have to be able to motivate yourself to get up every single day and do the thing that you said that you want to do. What is your why? Why did you start the business in the first place? You started this business because you wanted to leave a legacy, you wanted to serve people, You wanted to create a brighter future for your kids. You wanted, you want your family to be self-sufficient. You want to be able to live comfortably. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to, save. You want to be able to be comfortable. Always lean back into your why. Why did I start this business? Why am I doing this? Why am I sacrificing these hours? Why am I pushing myself so hard? Keep something in front of you that is going to motivate you to continue going. Does it make sense, guys? Tell me in the chat. Does it make sense? Everybody understand? As my coach says, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Right? It's a really it's a balancing act. That is what it is. It's a balancing act. This entrepreneurship, and you have to decide if you are ready to take this on. Everybody doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. I always say that entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart, right? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, right? And you really need to have that mindset. You need to have a drive. You need to do that market research with your idea to make sure you have a ready audience for whatever offer that you are putting out there. You need to have that determination and resilience. You need to have, as we say in the Caribbean, a broad back, because people are going to say all kind of things about you. People are going to not agree with your approach, and that is okay. You don't have to fight down everybody, because we're all different individuals, right? And we're all living a different experience. So everybody's not going to agree with you. That is also okay, right? That is also okay. If everybody doesn't agree with you, if everybody doesn't understand your journey or understand your process, or why you're selling at this price, or why you're selling here or there, or why you're showing up the way that you do. This is not for them to understand. This is for you to have your conviction in, right? So that's my message for you guys today, that, really think, especially for those of you who are thinking of becoming entrepreneurs, keep those things in mind. Really assess and make sure that this is a journey that you want to go on. I'm not saying this just to scare you, guys. I'm saying this for you to really self reflect and say, do I have what it takes to become an entrepreneur? And guys, if you are still working your 8 to 4 or your 9 to 5 while you're building your business, I say continue that until you are absolutely ready to go. Use that as your cushion until you're ready to go full time. Don't just give it up without a plan. Make sure that you plan. Make sure you have a solid written plan. Make sure you test out that plan before you make the jump into full time entrepreneurship. Use the skills that you're learning in your present job, and that could be something as simple as customer service, right? Project management, right? Pricing. You know what I mean? Because there are so many things you can learn from your present job that will help you in your journey of becoming a successful entrepreneur, right? So don't just feel that, I need to leave my 8 to 4 now and jump into this thing. You have to have a plan behind it. So use that as a cushion. Take part of your salary and take a piece of it, a percentage of your salary, and invest it into your business, right? Build up that safety net over time, so that when you make the jump over, you're not jumping over with $0. You have some kind of cushion, because those first few months are hard. Even the first year could be hard. So you want to start to put aside, whether it's $100 a month, whatever you can afford, just put aside, right? So that you have some kind of cushion for when you're ready to make that transition into full time entrepreneurship.